I'm excited about this one today.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Especially because I'm on the verge of boomers, and now we're going to be talking about Zoomers.
Oh, I know. That's what makes me laugh. And so, all right. So you've heard about boomers, but have you heard about Zoomers? And
I gave it away, didn't I?
So we're talking about Generation Z. This is the generation that was born between 1997 and 2012. And you're probably like, oh my God, that's little babies. But they're between 11 and 26 years old, and they are the next generation behind millennials, which we're all familiar with. So although Gen Z consumers are sort of young now, they are going to be coming, and they are currently the largest generation right now. They have beat the boomers. Boomers used to be the biggest. So
amazing.
Yes. So we need to start paying attention to these guys because they are going to start making financial purchases and they need to be on our radar. So that's exactly what this show is about. So we're going to share the characteristics, the behaviors, and everything you need to know about Generation Z so that we can better market to this up and coming generation.
Yes.
So here we go.
Okay, welcome back to Marketing and a Mic. Sarah and I are here to give you all kinds of digital marketing tips, bring you some guides. We really just want to help your business. That's the bottom line. So, all right, today, this is fun. So for a long time, we've been talking about how to target millennials. And it's kind of been one of those things that people are kind of frustrated about, I think. But today we're moving on to a whole new generation. So the tide's turning and there's now new content hungry and tech savvy group in town. Gen Zs.
Yes, Gen Z.
And before you roll your eyes, especially people of my age group, you better be paying attention if you own a business. So let me drop some facts about these Zoomers. All right. They have never known life without the internet.
Isn't that wild?
Yep. And as you mentioned before, they are the largest generation in American history. And they currently have, look at this mind-blowing thing, $360 billion in disposable income. That's 40% of all global consumers. So open your eyes, people.
Yeah. Hopefully we got your attention now. So it's eye-opening. It's wild. So, what matters most to this generation? That is the key. Well, for starters, everything about their shopping habits, everything about their purchase decisions, and all their values, it's all different than the previous generation. So buckle up. So these guys are digital natives, and I can attest to it because all three of my boys have been born with a device in their hand. I mean, they were like 19 months with the iPad. So they were born into technology.
Yes, that is very important in this age group. And they're also most educated generation yet. I mean, this is really something to talk about. They're also the most racially diverse, and they've grown up with more dynamic family structures than any other group before them. So as a result, think about this. They're less fazed by differences in race, religion, gender identification. They care less to them. It's just normal. So we're going to break down some common characteristics that you need to be paying attention to with these Zoomers or Gen Zers.
Yes. Okay. The first one is number one, they are astute consumers. So these guys are smart. So where millennials were more about authentic experiences, Zoomers are all about the search for truth. They were born into technology, which means information has always been readily available to them, and they are very comfortable with researching and cross-referencing data, just in their quest for accurate information. They are hunting for the truth.
Yes. So, I mean, this means you can't easily sway them. I mean, because they can find out all the information that they need about a product or service. So they're going to evaluate a range of options before they even settle on a brand. But The upside of this is their loyalty. 60% or 66% of Gen Zers will stick to buying from a words are hard, favorite brand for long term if they have a strong connection to it. So they'll come back over and over. The Gen Zers buying behaviors are a direct reflection of their values. And they take a lot of pride in purchasing from businesses that resonate with them or have some personal connection.
Yes. Very interesting. And they're, like I said, they're so different from millennials. I mean, they think differently. So the takeaway from this, well, it means two things. One, they are more likely to be persuaded by recommendations of a real life user than by a celebrity endorsement. So think about that. They want to know somebody that actually has had firsthand experience with it. They're more willing to pay more for something if it represents something from their own point of view or life experience. So that matters to them quite a bit.
Yes, absolutely. The next thing that you wouldn't think of as such young people is they value self-care. Now, mental health is an increasing factor with the younger generations and something that, we really shouldn't be ignoring. They were, most of them, or not most, all of them being born with a device-friendly atmosphere coupled with all those COVID years. It's really helped foster feelings of isolation, loneliness, and those type of things within their environment. So you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's true. They really did get kind of a doozy with the, being that young and then kind of strapping in with this whole COVID life and all that and just being isolated. So in addition, many young were falling prey to what they called this compare and despair trap that social media can present. And it's sort of this turbulent state of the world that's driven this state of mental health and increased activism to help change the mind frame of the world. And so because of this, they place a high value on brands that embrace diversity, inclusion, all that sort of stuff. Taking care of oneself.
Yes, exactly. So the next thing that we want to talk about, and again, this is very interesting, they are more financially minded. They're not going to just give up their money to anybody. So many of the Gen Zers watch their parents and grandparents take huge financial hits during the Great Recession. I love this. What we call the Great Recession means way back, but to them it's of 2007 to 2009. So having witnessed those economic struggles, which we probably don't even think about, the Zoomers are more driven by having financial security. They're not going to give up their money easily, and they are not impulsive buyers at all.
Yes, I think it's so wild too, because so you think about millennials, they came in at that age during the economic boom. The Generation Zers were shaped by the after effects of that. So, millennials were kind of hit that rise to the top and then like all come crumbling down. Well, guess what? They were having kids, and Gen Z is their kids. And they were coming in and they witnessed their families going through these after effects and these financial hardships that their families went through. So because of that, they had a takeaway of like, I want to be smarter with my money. I want to make safer investments. I want to have more stable jobs and more conservative spending.
Yes, that's a lot to keep in mind.
And I've got a quick little, here's our, what we're going to talk about with the characteristics. So they're intelligent customers. Number 2, they value authentic brands and products. And number 3, they are financially minded. So 3 characteristics you may not have ever thought, right, about this generation. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's like you don't think of the younger generation of being that aware,
Yeah, absolutely.
So they are very aware and they can find out anything they want to with technology. So we got to think about how to market to Gen Z. Well, we're going to cover a few things that hopefully will help you out. So one thing's for certain, like we've talked about, this generation is unlike anyone prior to it. Yeah. They're unique, diverse, and consume digital technology like it's candy. They prefer streaming services over cable, as well as getting snackable content, small little pieces of content that they can always view on their phones, computers, any little device that they have available to them. So here are some ways that you can align your marketing to these Zoomers.
And it's very true about that streaming. Like my kids don't watch they watch shows on their device, not really on a TV,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So
Well, yeah. I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but I was even watching some kind of home decorating show or whatever, and they were like, "Well, our kids none of us watch TV, so why do we even need a TV?"
yeah. And
And I was like, "That's so true."
it's so crazy to me. Like they would rather, and they'll get all their episodes and streaming, and it's all right there.
Yeah.
And it honestly did not dawn on me until I was putting this together. And I'm like, they really don't sit and watch shows. Like it's crazy. So, okay, how to market to this generation. Let's get back to it. Number one is you want to create platform specific content. So each platform has its own audience, which means if you're just going to be replicating content across social channels, it's not optimal if you're trying to reach Generation Z. You want to create content that you share. If you share it on TikTok, you want to share it to a TikTok audience. They want people that understand these different platforms and cater their brand to it. So it's all unique, and that's what they're looking for.
And it's tough. I mean, it's tough. We'd tell people, just concentrate on the platform that you like the best. But all these new platforms, well, some new, some old, but you have to be ready to look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
Or actually know what you're doing. So like for example, the Instagram for aspirational posts, Snapchat and stories for everyday moments. They're looking at all of those. TikTok for fun and trending ideas. And I mean, I'm even finding stuff to buy on TikTok, which
yeah.
And it's true because you know why? It's real people telling you real stories.
Yes. Yeah.
Like what we talked about.
Yeah, I think it's great. And some of the stuff that they do put out there, I love it because I think it really is. What is that? There's that hashtag, like learn from TikTok or TikTok taught me. TikTok taught me. And it's true. I've learned so much from TikTok videos.
TikTok, what is it? TikTok made me buy it. I think I hear that
TikTok
a lot.
made me buy it.
And they still come to Twitter for news. And LinkedIn, I mean, is really used for career focused content for these people, for the Gen Zers. So they expect you to truly know your audience, know your platform, and that's what you're going to have to do if you want your content to be successful. So it's a whole new world out there.
Whole new world. Yes. So the second marketing concept is to use video, nothing new, but keep it brief. That's what you need to really key on. So most of this generation has had a mobile device by middle school. Because of this, it's no secret how effective video can be, but they devour video from their smartphones, which is why they gravitate toward video-based platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. So keep it brief.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool for the people who are making the content. I mean, it's easier to make quick, short videos too. So short form, obviously, like we mentioned, is the way to go with Gen Z. They have to have bite-sized material, something that's scrollable, scrollability. That's what we call it. But I'm telling you, they don't have the patience or attention span to watch some long form video. If you're putting a long form video out there and your point's being made about halfway through the video, it's not going to get, they're just not going to see it. So there's no avoiding it. You have to have video. It's got to be your main staple, but short and sweet.
Absolutely. Okay. The third point of marketing to Gen Z is to embrace authenticity. As we've mentioned earlier, your brand's voice, your tone, your personality, all of that has to shine through in an authentic way. It's no longer kind of becoming this like, we're the company, you're the customer. Like it's really trying to bridge that gap and build connection. So invest time in showing your audience what values matter to your business.
Yeah, and they don't want to see perfect stuff. They would much rather see, as we're getting ready to see here, they want a human connection. I mean, anything that has those behind the scenes bloopers, team building events, those are the kind of things that you need to share in video form. So your brand has to be more than a product or service if you want any chance of doing business with these Gen Zers.
That is true. So the fourth point is to be real. It feels like I'm real, we're all real, but
But we don't always show it,
right, we don't show it, because we talk about like, I'm not gonna put all my, and it's not really just like putting all your business out there.
Yeah.
It's really about being transparent. And so remember, Zoomers are truth seekers. They're looking to be loyal to brands that align with their values. So they can cut through the noise real quickly. And you want to make sure that your brand is transparent. Your credibility is very important to Gen Z. They'll see right past it. And the upside is that the more real that you are, the more open-minded they are. And this, I should say, this generation is a lot more open-minded. So they are so much more accepting if you make a mistake, or if you take responsibility, or you just kind of, put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So things to keep in mind. The next thing is you need to try to utilize some influencer marketing. And we've had talked about this for a long time. It's like, I don't think I'm going to be an influencer of digital marketing. If there is such a thing, I know there is. So what's cool about this is that you can actually find these people to help you do this. So we talk about this, oh golly, on our episode of 95.
Isn't that crazy? So crazy.
Yeah, the one we did about the 2023 digital trends. You can look back at YouTube or wherever you find our information and go back and watch that. But influencer marketing is a type of social media marketing that involves working with individuals, kind of makes sense, with a large influence or a large audience. So you don't really necessarily have to worry about becoming your own influencer. You can actually go find them, and for a set fee, they will help promote your product or services to their large following. So there's ways around it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. So So Zoomers are guided by credible influencers, and they are more likely, and like I said, this is different than like a celebrity endorsement. These are credible influencers that they relate to, and they're more likely to purchase from a product or service if they receive a stamp of approval from an influencer that they trust. So there's a lot of marketers out there that are doing this and benefiting from influencers to help them reach an audience that they don't necessarily have that direct pull with. So,
absolutely. All right. Tap into user-generated content. What does that mean? Well, hey, use some Gen Zers if you know some. Have them help you with what they're looking for. So do you know a Gen Z or two? Given their constant quest for truth and realness, user-generated content often gets the best results with this target audience.
I'm like, Glenna, does this mean we got to like recruit my kids and be like, hey, you guys, talk about Fusion One?
Actually, it might not be a bad idea.
They might have some pull out there.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. And to do this, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. Start using pictures of real people, real customers, real situations, rather than just generic images. Go get a Gen Zer. Have them talk about your product or service.
Excuse me, are you a Gen Z?
I guess we have one that works with us. I'm not sure how old Peyton is, but I bet she falls right in there.
You might be right at the cusp. Yeah, that's true. Wow. Okay, so even better, find your Gen Z. So anyways, if it's genuine and it's fun, ask a Gen Z employee or ask a customer, to help you create content using their face and expertise, and share it with their own demographic. So you want to pull them in and have them participate in your marketing. And it's going to help create that transparency in your business that you're looking for. So 70% of Gen Zers say they're more likely to trust a business when it uses real photos of real customers in its advertising.
Yep. Yes. Absolutely. All right. You know a Gen Zer? All right. Number 7, omni-channel marketing. What does this mean? Well, if you have a Gen Z, which you do in your household, you've got a couple of them, you know that they love, love, love their devices. Are your kids like on them all day long, 24/7?
As much as they can. I have to restrict it. Otherwise, they would never put it down.
Yes. So people that have devices in their hands all day long have shopping styles that are not universal. not what we would think is universal anyway. Zoomers shop online in a variety of ways. So it's not that you're going to find them just in one place. They're looking everywhere that they have, that the stuff's on their device, like YouTube, Instagram, we mentioned a minute ago, TikTok ads, live streams, and you'd be surprised. They are using email. So again, if it's on their device, yes, it's true. Email marketing is not dead yet. In-store shopping, social shopping is really big. And social media links through stories, reels, feeds, all that stuff is catching their attention. And that's where they're going to find things to buy.
That last point with the social media links could not be more true, because my son was asking if he could buy something, and I said, okay, well, send me the link to the website, and he's like, well, I saw it in a reel, so I'll just send you the link to the reel. And I was like, oh my gosh,
can you do that? Cool.
Yeah, because he's like, well, I saw it on a video, so I'll just send you the link and you can just see it, and then if you could just tap right to it.
Yeah.
But to your point, they do use a blend of different ways to make a purchase. So you want to use a blend of marketing channels and customize your messaging, all to help form a genuine connection with this audience. So make sure all your ad messaging has that native look and feel. Clickbaity ads are going to flop fast. Like anything that just, you don't want it to look like a stiff ad, I guess.
Yeah, like it was made up, like it's not real. And you don't want it to have like what everybody else is doing, for sure. So we have some key takeaways that you should be, hopefully this sunk in when we were going through this. So one of my biggest takeaways is that this generation is not considered soft. I mean, the labels of snowflakes, that they're afraid to work, all that, it definitely does not apply here. They're really quite intelligent consumers, and they really aren't afraid to work. Now, I will say that we see that out of Peyton, who works with us. She works like crazy, and even went and got her another degree just to get one. So she's amazing. So many of them have side hustles to help with their savings and their future. And Gen Z value trust, connections, relatability. They want to be inclusive, and they value their purchases very much.
Yes. So just to kind of highlight our marketing tips would be: 1, to create platform-specific content. Number 2, use video, but keep it brief. Number 3, embrace authenticity. Number 4, be real. 5, utilize influencer marketing. 6, tap into user-generated content. And number 7, omni-channel marketing. So make sure you're using several different types of marketing to get with these guys. So so you know what? At the end of the day, this generation represents a large part of today's consumer. So if you're not thinking about them, you need to start thinking about them, because they will be purchasing from your business or a business like yours sooner than you may think. So yeah.
Absolutely. So hope that helped you understand the difference between millennials and Gen Zers, and or Gen Z apart from everybody else, because they really are different. So that's it for us today. And as always, if you need any more information about marketing, please ask us. But don't forget to plug into our podcast that goes live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And you can catch our replays on Instagram. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more resources to help with your digital marketing plan. There's a bunch of stuff there. We want to be able to help you. So hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Bye.